The days of a pickup truck being just a workhorse are no more. They do more than just haul cargo from farms or for construction sites. They also take off-roaders through rough trails, adventures to their campsite, and also serve as a daily drive for many motorists. So what would a pickup truck look like if it were to cater to both weekend warrior and city slicker? Essentially the ideal lifestyle pickup truck. Perhaps something like this, the BYD Shark 6 DMO. What exactly makes the Shark 6 a lifestyle-oriented pickup truck? And are there any caveats? Find out on this episode of Behind the Wheel. We actually have a walk around of the Shark 6 DMO on our YouTube channel. In fact, we launched it on the day the car itself was launched, much like all the other cars out there. Subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out. Now, on our walk around, we talked about some of the features of the car. But today, let's go through a quick refresher and talk about its pros and cons and the interior and the exterior. Before we get to that, however, I will whip out the AutoDeal app, available on iOS and Android, and it's absolutely free. And it will tell you that the Shark 6 Premium comes in at 2,298,000 Philippine pesos. Now, for what the car offers, it is neither the most expensive nor the most affordable, and it slots in really well for what it is compared to other diesel trucks out there. Think about other trucks like the Triton 4x4 Athlete or the Navara Pro 4X or even the Ranger Wildtrak. Underneath, you do have a 1.5-liter gasoline engine, but that doesn't drive at all. That's essentially a high-efficiency generator, which powers the batteries, the 29.6 kilowatt-hour batteries. Now, those batteries drive the motors, not one, but two, one up front, one at the rear. And combined, they do 430 horses and 650 newton meters of torque. And at those figures, it's already kicking the ass of most pickup trucks in the country. Also, speaking of kicking ass, this has a claimed range of 800 kilometers. But BYD Philippines did their own testing. They filled the tank, filled the batteries, and they were able to do 1,114 kilometers around the northern loop of the Philippines. What? Now, in hybrid mode with a low charge, we were able to clock in 12 kilometers per liter in heavy traffic. Now, that's important because this has an EV range of about 100 kilometers, which means that you can get through your day-to-day activities inside the city without ever sipping a drop of fuel. And if you have a charger at home, then you're set. Just don't forget every once in a while to actually use the gasoline that's inside your tank because, well, you don't want that turning feral on you. To charge the Shark 6, you have a CCS2 plug, which with a 55 kilowatt-hour charger can net you 30 to 80% in about 40 minutes. And because this is a plug-in hybrid, it has vehicle to load, which means it can power most of the things that you would bring to a campsite, say a fan, lights, or even a coffee maker, because the output of the vehicle is 6 kilowatts, which is not bad at all. And you don't have to worry about running out of juice if you use it on all these things, because the car does have a gasoline engine and will basically recharge the batteries for your trip home. Onto the exterior, the Shark boasts a strong appearance, all squared off up front with LEDs all around. Down the side, the truck stands on 18-inch alloys with 230 millimeters of ground clearance and 700 millimeters of wading depth. Over at the rear, there's big LED tail lamps, and in between is the tailgate that opens with the key or a button up on top. And it reveals a bed with a capacity of 1,200 liters and rated for 835 kilograms. So basically, that's one small caveat in the term of workhorse for the Shark 6. It can only carry 835 kilograms, whereas other trucks out there are rated at 1,000 kilograms. But that's still nothing to scoff at. I mean, that's basically 33 sacks of rice and some change. that's still a lot of carrying capacity. It also has a couple of cool features in the bed, like, well, we've already shown you the outlet that's available, but it also has a pair of LED lights, bright LED lights for the bed. This is going to be quite a bold statement because this bench right here is, if not one of, then the most comfortable bench seats in a pickup truck that I've ever sat on. It truly is. And I can attest to it because on that drive that we did with the Shark 6, I spent over 300 kilometers back here while somebody who was closer to 6 feet tall was driving that was on-road and off-road. And I gotta tell you, it is really comfortable back here. It doesn't feel like you're in a pickup truck. It feels more like you're in an SUV. Quite amazing. The amenities back here are not bad either. Because there is no center tunnel, it's completely flat, then a third passenger is not going to be an issue. The seats are leather and they're quite comfortable and bolstered well. You've got two air vents directly in front of you, underneath that a small little cubby hole, and then you've got yet another outlet and two USB charging points, Type A and Type C. In addition to that, you've got bottle holders on either door, a center armrest with two cup holders, and a pair of map lights, one on each side. Pretty cool. I'd also like to add that ingress and egress is very easy thanks to a grab handle right here and a step board. Nice. Quite good looking is the cockpit, if I do say so. I really do like it. Let's go to the features, okay? So first you have an instrument cluster which is 10.25 inches. It's bright, it's wide, it's fully colored, and everything and anything that you need can be found there. And when I say that, I mean it. I'll get to that a little bit later. Next, you have a 12.8 touchscreen infotainment system that has wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto.
Wait, you missed the most important part.
Bring it back, Jack, bring it back. It's a gimmick. There's really no point to it, okay? It really isn't. On the steering wheel, you have your adaptive cruise on the left-hand side, as well as a button to turn on your 360 camera. On the right, it has functions for your audio and some functions also for your trip computer. In the center, you have your air vents, underneath that wireless charging pad, and then your digital shifter. Now, there are cool things like you can immediately turn the audio on and off and your air as well. However, you cannot control your air controls. That, unfortunately, as a small caveat, falls here inside the infotainment system. The beauty is that that's pretty much the only convoluted thing that you need to get to inside your infotainment system, your air controls, because your drive modes and your terrain modes for the car are found on the steering wheel. There are these two knobs down here, which I think is great. Another yet small drawback is that there's a learning curve into using the instrument cluster because, believe it or not, you can control your air even on that thing and your trip computer and whatnot. But it's a series of buttons that you have to press to be able to do it. And it can get confusing for the first maybe 3 or 4 days, that was the bad trip about it. But once you get used to it, yeah, it's kind of simple. Great too is the amount of cubby holes and spaces that you have here because you have one here up front, a large glove compartment, cup holders here in the center, and a very deep box. Look at this. Whoa! That's an iPad, man. Now, you're gonna think this is kind of rich of me saying, but the seats, which are very comfortable by the way, they kind of ride high, and I like to sit low. Jack is laughing behind the camera right now. There is a reason why I like to ride low, Jack. It's so that when I get out of the car, I'm the same height as when I was inside. You get? That's why I like the seats low, because I'm a short guy. But the best part about this car is its drive, which is exactly what we're gonna do. But before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel because I think we're gonna need a bigger boat.
What?
Huh?
Oh, it's a shark. Okay.
Huh? Huh?
Whoop-de-doo.
Huh?
You
Usually at this point, Kako would be giving his impressions of how the car drives. Unfortunately, we both forgot to turn our mics on, so here's a voiceover instead. Sorry about that.
The Shark 6 absolutely rips. Overtaking, getting up to speed, going up mountains is absolutely not a problem for this truck. Comfort is absolutely great in this truck. For the front passengers, for the rear passengers, thanks also largely to the coiled springs in this car, I'd say that this is one of the most comfortable pickup trucks that I've ever driven. Save, of course, well, you're talking about the Raptor and larger American trucks. Adding to that comfort is just how quiet this truck is. I mean, when you're all charged up, obviously you're not going to hear anything because the electric motor is on. But even when the engine comes alive, well, it's not going to be like your average diesel engine pickup trucks. It's just whisper quiet. Overall, I don't believe this pickup truck is going to sway those diesel loyalists. No, not at all. But it can serve as inspiration for those that, let's say, for example, own a crossover that want to up their game when it comes to, living a lifestyle that's outside of the city. Plus, I really see this pickup truck sort of like something that will pique the interest of current pickup truck owners that want to, I don't know, get something more cutting edge. The Shark 6 DMO is an excellent pickup truck. It does have a few caveats, like it's not as rough and tough as the Ranger Raptor, or it doesn't have the full payload capacity of other diesel trucks that we have in our market. But the Shark 6 does excel in other aspects. For instance, it's got a really great interior. It's got all that technology inside. It has a ridiculously powerful, efficient, and smooth drivetrain. And on top of all of that, you can literally drive it on a daily basis because it's a hybrid. There's got no coding. As a lifestyle pickup truck, I think it's going to be kind of hard to beat.